Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the La Sala Salon with your host, me, Ryan La Sala, eccentric, fake psychic, and currently the devil. So some of you may be wondering what's going on. That is a fair question. And I'm going to tell you. The La Sala Salon is a monthly gathering of the most brilliant bookish minds I can convince to do a virtual event with me. And April's theme is April's Fools, Satan's Tool. So tonight, we seek to grasp the fine and subtle line between grace and sacrilege here at the La Sala Salon. So before we go any further, I do want to say the La Sala Salon is a safe space for all intersectional identities, and we tolerate absolutely zero hate speech. So while we do encourage you to cyberbully me, the host, in the comments, please keep a respectful attitude towards everybody and make sure to support all of the authors that have ventured all the way to my little cottage so that we can, do this over and over again. I also will be dropping a link in the comments. Many of you were kind enough to donate to our cause. This month, we are making donations. I'll make sure I get the name right, to the Asian American Legal Defense and Education Fund. And we have already raised close to $400 before the salon even began, which is huge. I set a goal for $250, but we are well beyond that. So I'm setting a goal for $500. I want to see if we can raise $100 during the salon itself. So while I invite our guests in, I'll also be dropping a link to where you can donate, and I'll post eventually when we have all of our accumulated donations to how much we raise. So that's really exciting. Anyhow, I think I hear a knock at the door. I think we've got a guest coming in. It sounds like it could be Kosoko Jackson. Oh my goodness.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Hi, welcome, my dear. Oh, it is so good to see you. Mwah.
It's so good to be here. It's a little hot in here, but I'll do.
Well, we are in hell. Anyways, would you mind introducing yourself for our esteemed guests?
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Kosoko Jackson. I am the author of Yesterday is History, which is about an African-American teen who gets the ability to time travel from a liver transplant and starts a love triangle between a boy in the 60s and a boy in present time. And I am also working on an adult rom-com coming out through Berkeley Penguin Random House in February, and my second YA, which comes out with Sourcebook next March.
Woo! Oh, I think I hear another guest. It sounds like the pitter-patter feet of Phil Stamper. Oh, hello!
Oh my God. Hello!
Oh my goodness
Hi.
Gracious! Welcome,
Do you have time for my
dear.
intro music?
No, but
I
can take a short
could not
bio.
compete with that. First of all,
I don't know a single word
am
to that
dressing
song.
in theme. With
Wow, the fool! My landlady has that shirt.
Oh, really? Like it was $13 on Amazon, and that's exactly how much money I think that it's worth to spend here. I am Phil Stamper, the author of these two books right here, The Gravity of Us, which is a space racy story between two sons of astronauts who fall in love while their parents are fighting for the spot in the world's first human mission to Mars. Haven't had to pitch that book in a while. That was weird. And As Far As You'll Take Me, which follows 17-year-old Marty Pierce as he leaves an unwelcome living environment in rural Kentucky and goes and lives his dream in London and finds himself and also falls in love with the very first boy he meets. Very relatable story. It doesn't go well, but you'll have to read to find out how.
Many fools abound.
Lots of fools in here.
Lots of foolishness, I would say. I would absolutely concur. Oh, I think we have another guest at the door. Do you hear? You hear that? Oh, here she comes. Hello.
Hi, everybody.
Kat Cho. Welcome to the salon.
I'm so happy to be here. Okay, so I'm Kat Cho, the author of the Wicked Fox duology, which is Wicked Fox, the first book, and Vicious Spirits, the second book. It is based on Korean mythology of mainly the nine-tailed fox, which is a gumiho. It's a fox that has lived long enough to turn into a beautiful woman so that she can lure in men, devour their souls, and live forever. But of course, it's also kind of a paranormal romance. So my main gumiho falls in love with a human boy and really tries so hard not to kill him. So hard. And then there's also shamans and reapers and goblins and ghosts. Oh my. And then my next book coming out with Disney next year is Once Upon a K-Prom, which is a K-pop rom-com about a girl whose childhood best friend became a K-pop star and has returned to their hometown in order to ask her out to prom. So
lovely. Well, welcome to the salon. You're, you and Kosoko are first timers. We're so happy to have you both.
yes, I'm so excited.
What possessed you to agree to this?
Boredom?
Good question.
Oh my goodness. My ears are tingling. They're very large, so they tingle often. I think we have another guest at the door.
Hi.
It's Claribel A. Ortega, the esteemed co-host of Celebrity Book Club and the person that I am trying to be. Will you introduce yourself for everyone, Claribel?
Yeah, sure. So I'm the author of Ghost Squad, came out last year. Was just shortlisted for an Ignite Award. Woohoo.
Yeah.
And it's about 12-year-old Lucely Luna who accidentally unleashes evil spirits on the city of St. Augustine and has to send them back into the underworld before the full moon on Halloween, or her whole city is going to be dragged under there with them. And my book Witchlings, which is a middle grade fantasy series that's like the Sorting Hat from Harry Potter minus the transphobia. And and it comes out next year, and then my main character Seven is sorted into a spare coven, which is like the leftover witches nobody wants, and so she invokes this thing called the impossible task, and her two coven members, her bully and the new girl in town with a terrible secret, have to defeat the fearsome night beast or be turned into toads.
Gosh, I don't know. Look, I have to say, a toad life sounds pretty good right about now. I don't know much about the story, but
yeah, I did a presentation at Scholastic, and one of the slides was, "Is being a toad really that bad?" And I proved that it was.
What were? Do you remember some of the points that were on that slide?
No Shake Shack, limited option. That first one alone, everybody was like, done.
That would do it for me as well. I have to say, about 45% of the time that I text you, Claribel, you were either on your way to or coming from Shake Shack.
Yeah, I'm
like
there.
You're like, I know what you mean when you're like, you can't have Shake Shack as a toad. Like that's devastating.
It would end my life.
Well, welcome everybody. It's so good to see all of your smiling faces. I can't believe it's been a whole month since our last salon, and I know, Phil, you were present for that. It got a little bit unruly, but I endeavor to join hands with all. Let's join hands with all of you because tonight, Kosoko.
What?
Hands.
Oh, it's
that's
there.
not. Okay,
I feel
right.
it. I feel the hand.
I feel because tonight we seek to pierce the veil, to invite in the muse of inspiration, and to refill our imaginative pools. I hear ghosts. Oh no! I feel spirits, and
That's a costume.
Oh my god! No, it's just healing. And I see many comments. It looks like we have over 50 people, 50 ghosts, 50 of our ghoulish spectators are in the audience. And wow, they are talking about Shake Shack. They are very excited to be here. Wow, incredible. I see some familiar names in the ghoulish spectators. It is so good to see all of you. So every salon, for those that are unfamiliar, I make the offer to the guests that they come and prepare and present a reading, because salons are for, if you're not familiar, it comes from, no one cares. But we exchange ideas at salons. We seek to be inspired, and so no one cares. I was gonna go into like an explanation as to like
no history.
No, you're right.
No one cares. You know what? You're right. No one cares. Shit. Okay. Well, that's fine. I believe we have some readings for this evening, and I personally cannot wait to hear what you all brought. And as a reminder, the theme is April's Fools, Satan's Tools. So I don't know what most of the stuff is. I'm excited to see what people have chosen for this. And Kosoko, I believe we selected you to go first.
Without my permission, yes, you did.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, we're ready. I'm ready for it whenever you are.
So I am reading a short story called The Farmer and the Devil, and I will do my best to try and do voices. I cannot promise they will be consistent. One week, a 6th grade class had been doing a unit on storytelling and working on using their imaginations. On the last day of the unit, the teacher told the class they would have a guest speaker coming to tell some of his stories. The class was excited because they had heard the stories were all very cool and they were super anxious to hear them. The teacher introduced the guest as Mr. Martin, a man who had recently been traveling and was stopping by the town on the way home. The teacher informed Mr. Martin and the class that they had 45 minutes, gave the control of the class to Mr. Martin, and left. The first story I will tell you about is the time that I tricked the devil, Mr. Martin said, and the class eagerly listened. A few years ago, I used to be a farmer. One day, when I was finishing up planting some crops on the farm, I noticed something very bright in the middle of one of my fields. When I got close enough to see what it was, I noticed a small creature sitting on top of whatever was glowing. It was a very small creature, about the size of a 3-year-old boy. It was covered with dry scales and had an ugly-looking snout. I asked the creature what it was and what it was sitting on. The creature said, I am the devil, and I am sitting on a pile of gems that are very rare. The devil told me that the gems were mine as long as I could have half of the crops when it came time to harvest. I told him, that's a deal. He could have everything above the ground, and I would have everything below the ground. When it came time to harvest, the devil reappeared. As I was digging up the crops I had planted, the devil realized that I had tricked him. He told me that because he had been outsmarted this time, we would switch places last time, to which I agreed. After all, when you plant carrots, they only go below ground. So he said that he would get everything that was below ground, and I could get everything that was above ground. This time, I planted corn. And when he came back this time, he received nothing but the roots of the corn. He was furious and ranted, you tricked me! Disappeared for good. The class all sat there and laughed and giggled. The farmer had outsmarted the devil. Then one boy named Matt raised his hand.
Rat? Did one boy named Rat? Is that what you
excited
said?
to hear Rat's voice.
I can't wait for Rat to start speaking. What's Rat got to say about this situation?
Be quiet. I lost my voices now. I heard about that. Every time that you told the story, everything you told about the story is true, but you forgot to tell about what happened after the devil disappeared. Mr. Martin,
how does Rat know this? Sorry, keep going.
Mr. Martin looked a little confused and said, what do you mean I forgot to tell you about what happened after the devil disappeared? This is how the story ended. Matt furiously shook his head. I heard there was more to the story. After the devil disappeared, the farmer sold all of his crops, planted more seeds, left the farm to his family, and then started traveling. When it finally came time to harvest for the 3rd time, there was nothing there. It was as if the devil had taken everything, above and below the ground. Mr. Martin didn't really know what to say. All of this was true. He had traveled, he had left the farm to his family, and he hadn't returned yet to see them. In fact, he was on the way home. It turned out that Matt was actually the devil disguised as a little boy, and he had been following Mr. Martin all across the world throughout his whole life. And he finally found him and found the chance to remind him that the devil will always win.
Goodbye.
So what happens to the family?
They're dead. Because they went below ground, the devil got both of them. Come on, critical thinking skills.
Oh my god, because they died and they're under the ground, so the devil owns them now?
Yes, come on now. Let's put 2 and 2 together.
This is scary. Oh my god. This is spooky.
No.
That's cursed. You did make this about Satan. Like, what did you want?
Yeah, Ryan. Like, you asked us.
This was your choice.
Yeah.
You could have made it about literally anything.
And maybe
This is
I
what
will
you pick.
see if you get asked back when it's like when the theme's gonna be like hot babes only. Wait, I have so many
You
questions.
won't be there.
Kosoko, I like there was a lot of arithmetic. I was above ground, I was below ground. What can you like distill that? What happened? I feel like I lost track of what
Come on,
was going
Ryan.
Could you repeat the story without voices? Because I was just so entranced by the voices. No, don't do the whole thing.
I can't. So when the devil first came and the guy made the deal, he was like, okay, I will have everything below ground. You can have above ground. So he planted carrots, and carrots glow below ground. And the devil was like, you beat me. I hate you. We're going to switch it up. I'm going to get below ground. Anything below ground. So then the man was like, okay, I'm going to plant corn because it grows on stalks. So all he got was the roots. And the devil was like, I hate you, blah, blah, blah. And the man just kind of yeeted and ran away and was like, I beat you, devil, ha, ha, ha. And then the devil was like, you didn't beat me because now I'm just going to take above ground and below ground. So when your family dies, I'm just going to take them to hell.
And what were the guys' motivations for travel? Like, what was fulfilling for him about traveling after he saw
There's no, I don't know. There was no, he just wanted to see the world. He wanted to find some hot babes. He wanted to come to the salon. He got lost.
Hot babes. Yeah.
Like carrots and corn. That was what, motivated the devil, was like
the devil's a vegan.
Bland salad.
I mean,
yeah, what is the devil up to that like the devil's like, I need all of these root vegetables?
Yeah.
Like, it's just suspicious.
He's making a stew.
He's making a stew.
Nice winter stew.
What is the Kosoko? What is like the inspiration? What is like the what can we learn from this story? Why'd you choose it?
Real talk. Because when I was originally thinking about doing a dramatic dramatic reading of the joke song "Friday" by Rebecca Black, I was told that I needed to pick a better choice or I would be kicked out. So I did not say that.
That sounds just like Ryan.
What is the inspiration? How is this linked to the theme? And I was like, this is not a good choice because he's asking me questions.
Oh yeah, because I asked you critical questions that made you think for 2 seconds about your creative choices. Yes. Someone is not used to being edited. My God. I asked you to explain yourself and you could not. That's on you. That's on you. Oh
wait,
my
made
God.
of
find a devil.
Oh yeah,
not religious.
Claws made out of but it's picnic plates.
Oh, that's so good.
Oh man. Well, thank you, Kosoko, for that morsel of insight. My God.
That was so good.
Thank you for the voices. That was superb. That was tremendous.
Thank you.
Wonderful. A round of applause. I can hear the ghosts applauding too. Ghosts, please show some love for our dear friend Kosoko. Check them out on all of the.
They're busy talking about root vegetables right now. But
they're trying.
Oh my God!
What vegetables?
They were like, the devil wants to be healthy. They're still figuring out the reasons.
I get it. I get it. There's a lot to think about. A lot to discuss there.
There's a lot there. All right, our next reading is going to be by the lovely Kat Cho. Kat, are you ready? Are you excited? Have you prepared something beautiful for us?
I'm so excited. I feel like I need to stir the pot and say that Ryan didn't ask me any critical questions when I told him what I wanted to read. He just said yes.
Well, that means it was good.
I guess I'm reading.
Maybe you didn't need to be pushed.
He approved.
So I need to do a little bit of an introduction for this. So this critical reading, first of all, it's dedicated to someone. It's dedicated to my very good friend, Meg Coleman. And that is because Meg Coleman and I at ALA accidentally met Gerard Way. Claribel was there as well. And it started the conversation about this fan fiction called My Immortal.
Oh my God.
No.
Fan fiction of Harry Potter by someone who has never read it. But they love Gerard Way, who is the sexiest guy ever. So because I had never heard of it, Meg read the whole thing to me with voices and our friends. But that's not what I'm reading for you guys. Oh, no. I am reading for you guys the author notes. to my immortal. Because what the author notes give to us for this story is the combination of two things I truly love and respect. I love fan fiction. Like, fan fiction writers are amazing. But I also love no context drama between friends where, like, I have no idea what's going on, but I'm watching it happen. So please come on this journey with me, everybody. Chapter 1. Author note. Special thanks, get it, because I'm gothic, to my GF Raven Bloody Tears 666 for helping me with the story and spelling. You rock. Justin, you're the love of my depressing life. You rock. MCR rocks. Chapter 7.
Points were made.
Bloody tears.
Were made. No notes. No notes.
No notes.
It's actually mine as well.
Okay, so we're skipping because chapters 2 through 6 is just, you know, the author saying thank you to these people. Chapter 7, which is the only one with a title, is called Bring Me to Life. Authors know. Well, okay, you guys, I'm only writing this because I got 5 good reviews. No, by the way, I won't write the next chapter till I get 10 good reviews. Simon,
Okay.
will support you.
Absolutely.
Ebony isn't a Mary Sue, okay? She isn't perfect. She's a Satanist. And she has problems. She's depressed, for God's sake. Chapter 9. Author's note. Stop flaming, okay? I didn't read all the books. This is from the movie, okay? So it's not my fault if Dumbledore swears. Besides, I had a headache. And the reason Snape doesn't like Harry now is because he's Christian and a vampire. He's a Satanist. MCR rock.
Makes so much sense.
Yeah, that's I'm right there with her.
Chapter 11. Author note. I said stop flaming, you preps. See, if this chapter is stupid, it deals with really serious issues. Especially see for yourself if it's stupid. By the way, thanks to my friend Raven for helping me.
Oh, Raven coming in handy. Raven. Also, Fangs, I'm adopting after this.
Yeah. Chapter 13, author note. Raven, thanks for helping me again. I'm sorry I took your poster of Gerard, but that guy is such a fucking sex bomb. Preps, stop flaming! Chapter
Preps.
Author's note. You know what? Shut up, okay? Prove to me you're not preps. Raven, you suck, you fucking bitch. Give me back my fucking sweater, you stupid.
Wow.
This is insane.
You're supposed to do this. By the way, thanks to Brittany 5655 for teaching me Japanese.
What about the sweater? Did she ever get the sweater back?
You gotta listen, Kosoko.
Chapter
17. Authors know. I said stop blaming the story. If you're a prep, then do not read it. You can tell whether you're a prep or not by my quiz. It's on my homepage. If you're not, then you rock. If you are, then fuck off. Willow isn't really a prep. Raven, please do this. I promise I'll give you back your poster. Chapter 18. I said stop blaming! If you do, then you're fucking prep. Thanks to Raven for the help and stuff. You rock, and you're not a prep. Thanks to my sweater. P.S. The other reason Dumbledore swore is because he's trying to be gothic. So there. Chapter 21.
Yeah.
Author's note. Fuck you, okay? You fucking suck. It's not my fault if it's spelled wrong, okay? Because that bitch Raven, because that bitch Raven. Fuck you, preps. Whoops.
Oh my God, wait.
Raven, thanks for the help. By the way,
Raven's still editing this?
Hard. By the way, Transylvania rocks hard. I even got to go to the castle where Dracula was filmed. Chapter 22, author's note. STFU! Stop blaming, okay? If you don't like it, fuck off. I know it's Mr. Norris, okay? But it's Raven's fault. You suck. No, just kidding, Raven. You fucking rock. Prep suck. Chapter 23.
It's a roller coaster.
Had too many emotions in 1 minute.
Shut the fuck up, bitches. You're just jealous because I got 10,000 reviews. Thanks to Raven for the help and telling me about the books. Girl, you rock. Let's go shopping together. Chapter 21. The finale. I started to cry tears of blood. It happens in Vampire Chronicles. Raven said so, so fuck off. The end.
Amazing.
Oh my God, the ups and
That
downs.
was incredible. Wow.
My new catchphrase.
Yeah, fuck off.
Fuck off.
Oh my God, I'm just calling it now. The theme of the next salon is going to be preps.
Press. I could dress to that.
Oh, can we take the quiz?
Right, is the quiz still around?
Yeah.
Is the quiz? Yes, the quiz still there.
I'm not sure, but I think most of the quiz is like, do you know who My Chemical Romance is? Or like, do you like vampires and stuff like that?
So we'll pass.
Kat, this was a incredible choice to bring to the salon. I feel invigorated. I have so many questions. So Raven was editing all of the entries that entire time while being yelled at, and even with the drag poster in the mix.
Raven is the person who told the author about Harry Potter. So I guess like the author had never read the books and had only seen some of the movies. But because Raven was describing the books to the author decided to write a My Chemical Romance gothic Harry Potter fan fiction where Hermione and Draco get together, and then Harry becomes a vampire, and like all of this stuff happens. But the only source of like HP factoids that they got was Raven. So Raven had to edit everything while being yelled at.
Poor Raven. She went through it. Or he. We don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Salon, what thoughts do we have for Kat?
I thought that was excellent.
Yeah. No, it really reminds me of my fan fiction when I was like 14, which like I added to my author bio because I also had like the disclaimer that was like, please, if you review my work, don't criticize it. And like that was just like what
Fair,
I was like, I haven't changed at all. But that was just such an era. And like also just like I've not heard somebody be called like a prep in a derogatory way in probably 20 years? This was like 15 years. Like I guess it was high school. Like,
oh my God, preppy.
And I was like,
bring it back.
I just like it hit me like physically. Wow, what a moment.
I'm gonna start calling authors that on Twitter.
Hey,
Like preps.
Stop
Take this away,
playing the
preps.
chat.
Stop.
Back in my fan fiction days.
If there are any preps in the salon chat, get out now.
Yes.
Only people who cry, only bloody tears, only goths, and you have to prove
vampires
it.
and gothics.
MCR rock.
We're posting a quiz. And if you fail,
If you're a prep or not. Well,
yeah, you can't come to the salon as a result.
my biggest thing is we never find out if she got her sweater back.
Yeah, no, I think I like that. There's so much richness in that. Like, part of me is like, is it real? Like, it feels like the Miranda Sings of author notes, you know?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a story in a story, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, it's ingenious. Actually, wait, Kat,
it hits that.
Go ahead, Phil.
It hits that like live journal vibe so well, like the 2004 live journal vibe, like that. It's just like that is something that could not have been more perfectly like. Wow. I've been taken back to my days as a youth.
Can we bring back Raw? Like, can that be a thing? Because I like kind of mix XD Raw.
Yeah,
Oh, I was infested with RAR. RAR was in my usernames. It was in my away message. I like signed yearbooks with RAR.
Or like the asterisk action. Like there were so many times where I would be asterisk curls hair behind ear. Oh my God.
That's handy. What if I turned in a book and all of the action was like Kane Montgomery like sits down? I love that. Oh, that is that. Look, this was really good. Thanks, thank you, Kat, for bringing this to the table. Any other final thoughts before we move on? Because I believe Claribel is.
I have a lot of
ready.
thoughts, but we don't have to. We
don't have time for all of them. Amazing. Okay, so next up, we've got a reading by the illustrious Claribel A. Ortega, author of Ghost Squad and Witchlings. And Claribel appears to be off stage right now, but
the outfit change.
Wow, there was a quick change.
Just quick. Just very quick.
Incredible. I'm thrilled. I can't wait to see what you do.
It's actually something really serious, so I hope that you guys can listen. I have to share my screen. Boop, beep, boop.
I'm ready to be serious.
Give me a sec.
Guys, this is a good time to check out that Tilify link that I posted. I will post it again. I posted the wrong link the first time around. I'm sorry about that. But we are aiming to reach well, this says goal 250, which we've technically already passed, but that was through Eventbrite. So donate what you can if you can. I would really appreciate it. Here, I will post the link again. Amazing.
Give me a second. My computer's being a butthole.
We didn't talk much about Brittany teaching her Japanese.
My
God!
I saw that comment, so we can discuss that while we're setting this up. Wow, like that happened so quickly, I'm sure, for her, and I'm so glad that the entire culture was just like,
yeah, for sure,
she got it.
She got it. She's the whole
I
language.
wasn't even thinking about like how much Japanese was taught. I just assumed it was that like this was the author's like dig at Raven to be like, you're no longer my number one friend.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That was absolutely why you put in Brittany there, because she is just a ploy to make Raven jealous, and it worked. I mean, it obviously worked. It patched up their friendship. Question for the author: do you think that there was Japanese in that chapter? Like Brittany slid in from like an editorial perspective and like used it as like fact checker, like that, and that was the fight. It was like, sorry, Raven. Unfortunately, Brittany knows Japanese and you don't. So.
That's very possible. I should go back and look at that chapter and actually read it to see if it's relevant. But I mean, honestly, I felt like the lesson from these author notes was that like friendships, they go through a lot of like hardship and drama, but at the end, your ride or die is willing to help you edit a My Chemical Romance Harry Potter fan fiction. And that's what matters.
As long as they're not a prep.
Look,
yeah.
As long as they're not a prep. Oh my God.
Unconditional love.
Unconditional love indeed.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we're ready as well. Oh, there's your screen? Okay, hold on.
Okay. You guys ready? All right, cool.
We're ready.
All right, so I'm gonna talk to you guys about something that's really important to me. And it's a topic that I hope can resonate with a lot of people.
I'm so scared.
And it's why Yzma can easily defeat Satan. A presentation by me. Okay. All right, we're going to start first with some origins, okay? Yzma versus Satan. So Yzma raised Kuzco, like, on her own, even though he had parents. So, like, #queen, okay? Some people might criticize her for trying to kill him, but she only tried killing him once he fired her. which is totally fair when you consider that she's like pretty much his mom, right? Isma is an advisor and a chemist, hashtag women in STEM. And she also has support from Kronk, who is a himbo legend, as we all know. Now, Satan, former angel, probably super judgmental, you know, got kicked out of heaven. So what? So will all of my queer friends. You're not special. He walks around tempting people. So does Ronald McDonald. In conclusion, Satan is a clown. He also doesn't stay in his lane, and he has many annoying advocates on Earth, and we all hate them. Okay, fashion sense and appearance. So Yzma is obviously a fashion icon. Look at her. She was based on both Cruella de Vil and the singer Yzma Sumac, who are both known for their extravagant wardrobe. We don't talk about the puppies, though, okay? Yzma is confident and believes she's beautiful, despite the patriarchy telling her that she is too old to be so. Most of her wardrobe is purple, which is the color of royalty. Satan, on the other hand, is normally depicted naked. And while sometimes he is portrayed as conventionally hot, there is no effort put into his wardrobe, which is super lazy for a villain. His chosen color of red also clashes with a lot of things, and is generally way uglier than purple. Moving on. Powers, okay?
What?
Right. So Yzma is a sorceress. She's a chemist and she's a potions maker. She's routinely crushed and survives, which shows her tenacious spirit. Satan, what does he have? The power of persuasion. Who cares? He will basically debate you, right? He was defeated by Lil Nas X in the Battle of Montero and was taken down by a single lap dance, which is pathetic. So in conclusion, through the power of fashion, science, and having a younger / hot boyfriend, plus her favorite catchphrase, pull the lever, Crunk, Yzma could easily charm her way into hell and defeat Satan, or at the very least, turn him into a llama. Thank you.
Oh my god. I mean, look at the material. You can't debate that.
Look, I just have to ask, is this an attack against me?
No.
I thought so.
I didn't know who would actually be Satan tonight.
Despite what I've shown up in, I would 100% show up as Yzma instead of Satan if I had the wherewithal. You're right. I can't think of a single thing I disagree with you on, except I think Satan. Oh wait, there was one thing. But I can't even remember it now. That was an A+ presentation. What possessed you to put that together?
I love Yzma. I'm obsessed with her. I'm always talking about her like all the time. And I was like, what can I was talking to Peter actually, and we always talk about Disney stuff because Peter loves Disney. And I was like, what could I do? And then as a joke, I was like, how about Yzma versus Satan presentation? And then I was like, oh no, that's what I'm gonna do. That's actually perfect. So I did it.
Yeah, you did.
You absolutely did. I love the line that Yzma is routinely crushed. Yes.
She is. She is routinely crushed. And if Kronk doesn't save her, she just gets hurt, and she's very frail. But she doesn't die. Like, she just keeps coming back, and that is a testament, I think, to her strength.
I think we should all be so lucky, and we should all be so resilient as the icon Yzma. I mean, incredible. And you know what? You're right. The devil only can persuade, and he doesn't even do it himself. He like hires like guys in philosophy classes that have to be like devil's advocates. He has so many advocates. I don't know one Yzma advocate.
Except for
I
me.
will say he runs a business. Like, he runs hell, and that feels like a pretty complex task. He has no days off.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's what it is.
Kingdom. Yzma is like the de facto king.
She does try to replace She does try to replace Cusco. That's true.
I mean, he doesn't really do much.
He didn't do much in the beginning. I mean, here's the thing: is I get that like Cusco's like the hero of the story or whatever, but like if you really think about it, like he was born into privilege. He doesn't do any work. He's so selfish. He threw that old man out a window, and like Yzma works so hard to keep the country running, and all of a sudden she's a villain because she turns someone into a llama. Anyone could do that by accident. That's a common mistake.
But
And
wasn't her intention to kill him?
Right.
Yeah, but he sort of deserved to die when you think about it.
She did turn him into a llama by accident, but Phil's right. It's because she was trying to assassinate him.
I do like the character
but
arc.
do you
of,
remember the beginning where he's like judging the line of girls and he's like, you must have a good personality.
Yeah.
Electric chair.
Rude. Also, it's Krunk who turns him into a llama, okay? He was so into his spinach puffs that he got the wrong potion.
Can I tell you, back when I had a corporate job, I had a client and I made them watch The Emperor's New Groove and then I quizzed them on it during a client meeting, and it was billable time technically.
Is this why you don't have a job anymore?
Yeah, and I no longer have that job. That's correct.
People are asking how I took my black lipstick off so easily. Okay, it's because of this thing. I'm gonna do a beauty blogger moment. Whoa.
Yeah.
Garnier.
This thing. And then I use this like reusable towel because I don't use those things you throw away because they're really bad for the environment. But that will take anything off. It's great.
It was really like a Mulan moment where it was just like, it's like, oh, it's gone now.
It works really well. I hope Ryan has some for his face.
Look, a lot of this is done in waterproof eyeliner because it's like what I could find. The red is gonna be like, I'm gonna be like bright red tomorrow, and I'm gonna just have like the tracery of like this.
We're gonna get updates, daily updates of like your skin fading into a normal hue.
Oh, amazing! Claribel, thank you for presenting that presentation.
You're welcome.
The reading was deeply inspired. I feel shaken, not stirred. Stirred as well. I feel stirred as well. Things have stirred. I'm both. That was great. Thank you for your contribution to the salon.
I'm glad you guys liked it.
Yeah, it's incredible. Everyone, check out Claribel on the internet. All of their information is in the banner, which I am about to change to Phil's, because now Phil, you are up. But I believe.
Yeah. So
do you want to tell us what you're presenting?
Yeah. So I think that. So we were told that it doesn't have to be a reading. And I think that that's the journey this salon will want to go in, because not all of us are like necessarily into doing readings publicly, which is like not my thing. But what I am into is music. And so I feel like I can bring a little bit of musical opportunity here. So I will at some point perform for you all, because I need to get over my stage fright that I've had for my entire life, because I have those music degrees. Like, what am I doing with them? But for now, I want to play a TikTok that has music in it. So I don't know if you want to bring it up, because I think I gave it to you. All right, so you might need to turn down your music for this. And just to preface, this is, if you've never followed Matt Bateman, he does a lot of really funny musical theater things, because my TikTok is literally all gay stuff and musical theater and musical theory. Like, so that's real, like, they got me. So I get this guy a lot, and he has this whole series where he inappropriately options up an octave in musicals. So like on really like soft songs, he'll just belt a high note randomly. And so this is his kind of first time going into optioning down. And it is a song that fits the theme of both Devils and Fools, because it is from well, you'll see what it's from.
Oh my God, thank you for that. Thank you for that robust introduction.
Well, it's a short video, so I have to like pad it with words.
We're gonna try this out. I'm gonna let it play probably like once or twice, because it might not start right at the beginning. Okay. And you guys can see my screen. Perfect, wonderful, and yeah.
Inappropriate times to option down in a musical theatre number. Part 1. Now It's a riddle to guess if you can sing the bells of Notre Dame. Who is the monster and who is the man? Sing the bells, 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 bells of Notre
It's still going.
Oh,
Oh,
that was
anticlimactic.
Sorry, these are like my favorite videos because they like I listen to so much musical theater songs that I'm just like, when anything is different, it is just automatically hilarious to me. Like, did anyone listen to Alto's Lament when like this was like big when I was in college? The Alto's Lament, and they would just go through like Oklahoma and all these other Broadway songs where it's just the most boring parts possible. And I just always find it hilarious because there are people in the background doing this kind of like the alto, like the counter melody and stuff that is just not as fun. Anyway, that is mine. And what do you think? What do you think about the bells of Notre Dame?
of
I
the
love,
Salon.
well, that's like
Fools and
honestly
devils.
one of the best Disney intro scenes. Like, it's so epic. Like, it's up there, top 5 best Disney intro music numbers.
And I would say like top soundtrack, one of the top soundtracks, like very underrated and not for everyone, but like really clever.
It's very dark too. Like that song with Hellfire is a fucking bop. Like it's a bop, but it's like a dark bop, but it's a bop.
It's a dark pop.
Hellfire is like one of the best.
I only listen to
villain
dark
songs.
bops.
Of course you
You hear like Spotify playlists at the end where it's like genres you listen to, dark bops.
Oh no,
Bops
your
exclusively
Spotify
dark.
Wrapped number one genre.
They actually would do that.
Isn't the villain in The Hunchback of Notre Dame named Frollo?
Yeah, Judge Claus Frollo.
I don't like that. That to me seems that seems homophobic.
He is a gay. Like he's obviously a repressed gay.
Is he though? No, he
Do we want to go there?
after Esmeralda? Doesn't he like?
Yeah, they present him as like a creepy hetero guy. The way
He's lecherous.
I don't know what incel means, but I feel like it must be that. Like I don't know that word. I keep seeing it. Like,
how do you not know what incel means and you live in America in 2021?
because like I know generally what it means. I understand context clues, but not enough to like go on wikipedia.org and type
I'll tell you it. Here's what it means. It means you're involuntarily celibate.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Isn't that crazy?
Well, I guess his is voluntary, but he obviously doesn't want it to be voluntary based on the Hellfire song that we see his journey. Little repressed.
I love optioning down in musical theater because anytime you go to like a live show or like a live concert, people option down all the time. Like I remember I saw Kelly Clarkson in concert live and she optioned down on absolutely everything. And I was like, that's power. That's power. People pay however much money to come out to watch you sing Behind These Hazel Eyes and you sing it like an octave down. Incredible. And she did it barefoot as well. I was like, and I know she had like no qualms about it. And I thought that was really, really incredible. I learned a lot about power that day.
And that's a good thing. It's a good example. And I feel like that happens a lot when you go see someone in concert, because you're like basically wanting the exact experience. And sometimes people have colds. Like you can't really, you can't really. And sometimes people can't do that.
Yeah, and sometimes they're Katy Perry, who can't sing any of her songs. That's the joke there. I love Katy Perry, but she
not part of it.
I've actually been to a Katy Perry concert as well, and it was probably the best concert I've ever been to in my life, and I highly encourage all of you to do the same.
I'm sorry.
When it's safe.
Have you been to enough concerts then? Because I feel like it can't be the best concert.
I haven't been to that many concerts. I've been to an Evanescence concert. My first concert was Evanescence, and clearly it had an impact on me. So,
wait, what was everyone's first concert? Can we just do that? I know it's not.
Yeah, let's go around. Let's go around.
Oh, my first concert.
Mine was Fall Out Boy, All American Rejects, Hawthorne Heights, and From First to Last. and it was incredible. I was very front row, could feel the flames of Fall Out Boy's pyrotechnics, and also caught an All American Rejects pick from the audience because I'm super tall. So when they throw it out, it's just like, hi.
I
A
think my
guitar
first
pick?
Like a guitar pick. I got one from
Wow.
Boys Like Girls as well, and that's the one I use to play guitar right now. I saw them in concert. I'm really good at catching picks.
I saw two concerts like really close to each other, and I can't remember which was first. I did see NSYNC in concert, which was amazing because that's like a big deal.
Wow.
Like I saw
Yeah.
NSYNC, but I also saw Incubus, and that was like the first time I ever got high because by an accident. Because literally everybody around me was smoking, and I was in high school. I had never, done anything like that. And I went with my friend Amy, who was like really like one of those girls who like didn't really do that much in high school. She was like quieter. And like all of a sudden I look over and Incubus is playing a song and Amy's just like dancing like this.
We've all danced.
And
that
I'm
way.
like, Amy, we are high, just so you know. So that it was one of those two was my first, and they were two of the best concerts that I've ever been to this day.
Wow. Incredible.
Mine
Kat,
was,
what about you?
Oh, go ahead.
I have more important, obviously. No, you go first. You go first. Mine's not gonna
My first legit concert was Owl City, which is a throwback.
Oh my God, amazing.
Owl City?
That is
You
a
would
very
not believe
specific.
your eyes if 10 million fireflies. Come on now.
Yeah, because you would be incinerated. That's very bright.
When I was little, my mom drove me and my 7-year-old friends 3 hours to go and see Pokemon the musical for my birthday, and so
That's cool.
Well, do musicals count? Because I don't.
I feel like Pokemon the musical did because there was a lot of singing.
Okay.
Wait, was this the one with Andrew Rannells?
You expect me to remember anything? I was 7.
Oh, he played James in the touring Pokemon musical group.
What is that sound?
Who's
Somebody's
Not
beeping?
me for once.
It's Kat's house. It's gotta be.
It's
not
I heard
mine.
there's a party on my street.
Kat, what was your first concert?
So I didn't really go to concerts when I was in high school because I was boring, and I just it never occurred to me to put effort into seeing bands live. But I did go see the Gorillaz at the Apollo.
That's a good one.
And
Did they set up a TV?
No, so they had puppets, and it was epic.
Wow.
It was so epic because they would appear in a balcony, and then they would appear somewhere else, and then so he was behind a big screen, so you could see him at his sometimes he was sitting at a piano, and sometimes he was at his circuit board with the music that he controlled, and so you could see his shadow behind there. So oh, proof that he's here, that this is live, But then he never came out. It was always the puppets, and then it was every guest from that album was also there. He got everyone who guest sang on that album.
Wow.
Probably because it was the Apollo, and they came out and would dance with the puppets and stuff.
That's
and
awesome.
And it was the coolest, partly because of the atmosphere of that venue, but also because I was freaking obsessed with the Gorillaz in college. They were my favorite group, fake band.
Yeah, you were cool if you liked the Gorillaz, if you knew about them and all that stuff, because they were on the radio and stuff. But if you knew that they were not actually a band, I felt cool knowing that is actually probably what I should say.
Were they one of the first anonymous mainstream artists? Because now we have a few out there that you never see their face, and that's by design.
Yeah.
But I feel that was very novel at the moment.
Yeah,
when they came out.
That's true.
It's possible.
I might be missing someone.
I mean, it was interesting because it's he had other bands where he would play live with his other bands, but Gorillaz was his experimental concept group that he created specifically to experiment with different genres of music, and he wasn't the point. The point was this story that he made. There was stories about each of the characters, which I absolutely loved because he made up whole backstories for each person in the band, and they were short videos that they would release about each of them. Obviously, Noodle was my favorite. I was Noodle one year for Halloween.
Oh man,
I don't remember them.
I
don't
like
remember
went
them
in.
anymore.
I
So-
went
I
in.
remember them. Yeah.
It was, to be fair, there was some problematic things with Noodle's backstory because she's Japanese and like they need like a main guitarist and they can't find one who's good enough. And then she just like shows up on their front doorstep in like a box, and she like had been
Not a box.
she had been shipped there. And she was like this small little Japanese girl who didn't speak English, and the only English word she could say was noodle, and that was her name. It was slightly problematic, but she was also
Just a little.
so bad. Listen. She was so badass though. Like, I don't know. I did love her.
So we know who the Gorillaz guy was, because I kind of like the idea that like
I
no
didn't
one
think
knows.
we
Like
did.
for all we know, it could be like Helena Bonham Carter. We just don't know.
No. We knew it was Damon Albarn.
Well, now
Okay.
you've spoiler alert, everyone. Fucking
Wow.
cat
We can go
Tell
home
told
now.
everyone who Gorilla was.
Singular gorilla.
Who was the gorilla?
No, he was like the main singer of the Blur. I don't know if you knew them. They were fairly famous.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Someone in the comments mentioned
Ooh, them.
someone mentioned Daft Punk being like anonymous.
Yeah.
But, so yeah,
Mhm.
they were definitely first. But
Yeah.
same.
And
Same vibe.
Dead Mouse 5. Dead Mouse
Yeah.
5 was later though. After
Has he
the
been?
Gorillaz.
Yeah, I was like, that's who else I was
Wasn't
thinking
it
of.
just Dead
But now
Mouse?
Dead Mouse.
Yeah, but it's
Dead Mouse.
I was like, who?
Well, thank you for that. Thank you for that. Thank you for that round robin spur of the moment, Phil. I really loved learning some facts about my friends. I can never
I
get
can't
enough
tell if you're
facts
being
about my
serious or if
friends.
you're just like this wasn't on the schedule.
Wait, I just noticed that it says I'm a warrior. I'm a warrior.
Yeah, I think it's one time I tweeted about warrior nun and you responded to it. And in my mind, I've just always associated with warrior nuns.
Yeah, so I follow a nun on TikTok.
Really? What does she
Oh,
do?
look, that informational nun who has like a cell phone and she gives you updates, right?
Oh my god! Wait.
Her. She's younger, and she's Asian, and she just made like a video, and everybody was like, "Oh my god, you're a nun and you're on TikTok." And she's like, she just makes videos like, and she'll be like, "Should I get a nose ring?" And it's like a filter, and everybody's like, "A million likes because you're a nun, and this is too cute."
Wait, what if like her nun TikTok was like 7 habits of productive people? Habits, like
no, okay, I
that's
gotta
so
log on.
funny.
Done.
That was
Outta here.
good.
Yeah.
That was good. Unfortunately.
No, it's just like she gives like what her life is like and what it's, and people ask her a lot of questions, obviously. Like, are you allowed to do this or that? And she'll like look in her little nun book and she's like, it's different for every,
The Bible?
No, it's like it's not the Bible. No,
Is it just
her
the-
little nun book is not the Bible. It's like
Sister Act?
what?
Is it just the scripts to Sister Act?
Yeah, that's what it is.
It's actually the VHS to Sister Act show.
She like opens
She
it up.
closed it up.
She like unspools it and looks at
She's like, we are allowed to give concerts and to teach teens to like appreciate Jesus through song.
I love that. Look, I've met a few nuns in my life, and they're all great. I've met some great nuns.
I have never met a nun in my whole life.
I've never met a nun either.
met tons of
My
nuns.
mom got like wait, you met tons of them? Did you go to like Catholic school?
Yes. Yes, I went to
Oh,
Catholic school.
Yeah, I went to Catholic
Big
University, so
Big
there were
time.
plenty of brothers and sisters and nuns and
Oh.
everyone, all sorts.
Also,
All sorts.
There are a lot.
Hey, listen, Salon. Hey, listen. So we are coming up on the end of our readings. I want to know, do you guys want to play a quick game before we answer some questions?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, great. All right. So, I'm so excited. So, hey, ghostly spectators, if you've got questions, now's your time to enter them into the ether, the chat. And we will try to actually don't enter them yet because I'm going to miss them because you guys are talking about like nuns and shit. Save them up for later, but we will be answering questions towards the end for however long I can convince my friends to stay on the internet with me. But before that, I've prepared a special game. Hey, a special game for the April Salon. And the game is called, my makeup's coming off. The game is called The Fool's Errand. So here's how it works. I'm going to solicit a few prompts from the audience. So get those little typer digits ready. But then each of us is going to take turns telling a story. We're all going to tell a story together about the fool's errand, right? That's the name of the story. Before each of us begins adding to the story, we're going to spin a wheel that has a special detail that we'll have to include in whatever segment that we include in the story, okay? So I'll cue that up in a second. But for starters, what we need 3 things. First, chat. First, we need a character, a main character. It could be a salesperson. It could be Condoleezza Rice. It could be, actually, it shouldn't be Condoleezza Rice, but it could be somebody. It could be somebody else. So I want like a character archetype from the ether. Are we getting any of our ghoulish spectators? Can we get a main character? And then next up, we're gonna need something that they want. So we need a character. We need something that they want, and then the third thing is we need whatever's standing in their way, like a problem that they're having. Okay. I see Kronk. First things in the, okay. I see Glenda as well. These are some good options. Let's go with Kronk. I feel like Kronk is a really good option. And what does Kronk want? Ghosts. What does Kronk want? What is Kronk after? What does Kronk need? All stories need fresh spinach. All right, and what is stopping Kronk from getting fresh spinach? What's in Kronk's way? Kronk wants love. We can add that to the list. By the way, for any writers out there, these are the things that you should have in your query letter. Who's your main character? What do they want? And what's stopping them? That's how you get. That's how you get stakes in your novel. Famine.
You.
I don't know. We can't. No, we're not including famine, Kelly.
No. Kronk is an
I want him to be cast in the school musical. Can we do that one? He wants to be cast in the school musical.
Oh, that's a good one. It's
really
YA.
Cute.
That's good.
All right.
Like,
We'll say.
and
That's okay. Perfect. All right.
Oh, what's standing in his way? Zoom fatigue.
Zoom fatigue. Okay, so Kronk wants to be in a musical. What's standing in his way is Zoom fatigue. And can we get a volunteer to go first?
I'll go first. I don't care.
Bam.
Put back on your wig.
All right, Claribel, you're going to start us off, and here's what you need to include. It was all a dream. Oh, incredible. Okay, start us off, Claribel.
Wait, I have a question. How long are sections supposed to be?
Just like a few sentences.
Why should I do this?
Okay. I've got a question.
This long and prosper, you guys.
Okay, so Kronk has a basket full of fresh spinach. Oh wait, that's not what his.
You can still have spinach.
You can still have it. He could still have it.
He has a basket of fresh spinach, and he's on stage, and he's the star of what is this school play? Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the school musical.
That's what he wants.
And he's so excited. He's about to start singing. The lights go up, and then he wakes up because it was all a dream, and he's actually just so tired at home. He can't even get out of bed. I'm done.
Okay, I'll go next.
All right, we're gonna go.
Oh,
all right, Phil.
It feels like Phil has an idea of what he wants to have happen.
No, I just would rather go earlier. Arousing monologue. Oh, this fits. Okay.
Arousing
all right.
monologue.
So, Kronk wakes up. He goes to school, which is actually his computer, because we're still in a pandemic and his school has not yet opened back to the public. And he is fatigued, as we have discussed. But there is a glimmer of hope on the horizon, because he knows at the end of this day, he has his auditions for the High School Musical, and he's going to be in it. The High School Musical, they're doing Wicked. He has to get this role. He's wanted to be Fiyero his entire life, because he was born probably after Wicked started. Because we're old.
Yeah, probably true.
Unfortunately. So he goes through his classes one after the other, and he gets a little bit more sleepy each time. But then it's time, and he opens his Zoom screen, and he starts his rousing monologue. And he goes into the longest audition he has ever been a part of, 10 whole minutes. He doesn't stop talking, except for he realizes he's still in calculus. And then he gets kicked out of class, and nobody likes his monologue.
Oh my God. Okay. All right. Kosoko, you're up next.
I'm ready. I don't know how I'm going to follow that, though, but I'm ready.
He got kicked out of class? That's kind of vicious, Phil.
Also,
I
why
know,
is
he was taking up time. What?
nothing? Oh, shit.
All right.
Huge
A huge
plot
plot twist.
So after he got kicked out of class, he had to go to the principal's office, as like one does. But since he's in the Zoom class, the principal office is actually, plot twist, his mother.
Oh!
Love that. The way you said it.
Good.
His
That's
mother.
really good.
His mother.
And so he's terrified because, like, it's his mother, and his mother is actually Cusco. There we go.
That's another plot twist.
This
Wow,
doesn't say
Two plot twists.
huge plot twist.
It is a conjunctive plot twist.
Wow.
Damn.
Twist.
All right. Kat, you're up.
Am I
So we went to the principal. His mother, and his mother is Cusco.
Let's go.
How many rounds are we doing?
We'll do 2 rounds.
Okay.
Genre shift.
Okay. So he goes to talk to Cusco, who we soon find out is actually a llama. And Kronk is actually living on a llama farm and has been raised by these magical llamas his whole entire life. Because when he was a little boy, he was abandoned in the woods at the edge of this town. And you're not supposed to go into those woods because they say that a witch will turn you into a llama if you go in there. So Kronk has never been allowed to go in there by his mama llama, Cusco. However, today he thinks, if I can't fit into human school, then I'm going to go get turned into a llama myself.
Wow. I love a classic holding yourself hostage situation. Oh man. Okay, I think I'm up.
Isn't it amazing that we get paid for this shit?
This
This is what writing is.
Another rousing monologue.
Oh my God, another.
Okay, so he's going into the woods. Kronk he's determined to turn himself into a llama, because I don't think we ever. Why, Kat? Why is he doing this?
He doesn't think he fits in with the humans at school, so he's supposed to be a llama like the rest of his family.
Right, he wants to be a llama like the rest of his family. So he walks into the woods and he's like, "Hey, trees! Like, in the solidarity of the woods, finally, I feel like I can." Be myself because no one's watching me and there's all these expectations, and he gives a really beautiful monologue about just how, like, you know, oftentimes, like, we are the self in the looking glass, right? Like, are we ourselves or are we the thing that people see? And if we want to change, do we change ourselves or do we change what people see? Does selfhood start with perception? And while he does this, he starts to walk on all fours because he thinks that, like, this transition into the llama, he can sort of like bait the magic of the forest into believing that via this monologue, it's what he really wants. And lo and behold, he enters a clearing and sees ... chapter ending. Claribel, you're up next.
Okay. Okay, so he sees a giant tent.
Yeah.
Just in the middle of the clearing, and he's like, what is that? So he goes, he walks on all fours, and he opens this extravagant purple curtain with his snout. And there's lights, and there's music. It's like disco music, right? It's Dua Lipa. Dua Pip is playing. Dua Pip. And there are llamas dancing everywhere, and they're surrounding someone in the center. And he makes his way, and he's sort of like dancing also. And in the middle, it's the witch. He realizes it's the witch that he's been warned about. And it turns out to be Yzma. And she looks at him and she's like, what are you doing here? And he's like, wait, maybe she can help me. Maybe I can go back to school and achieve my dream, but I have to work up the courage to ask her, because she's like really fabulous and she looks amazing and she dances really well. So he takes a deep breath and he tries to talk to her. End of scene.
Wow. So this is a heart-to-heart.
Phil, you've got to carry this forward.
With Yzma?
Yeah, you gotta give us the meat of this.
What happens with the heart-to-heart?
Oh my god.
Exciting!
All right. Yzma, he says, you have to hear me out. First of all, completely unrelated to this, ma'am, I think you could kill the devil. I have done a lot of research, and I'm pretty sure that you could kill the devil. Just if you wanted to, I would be with you. Second of all, we've got to do something about your hair. So Kronk figures that if he gives her a makeover and she starts feeling better about herself, then he'll start feeling better about himself and will be able to reclaim his role as Fiero in the school play. So he goes and he puts her hair in curlers from the 1960s. And they're big curlers all on the top of her head. And she hates it. She hates the look. She said, I have never been not confident about my own looks. Yeah. And he is taken aback because he knows that she's a hot woman. We all do. But he just assumed that because Kuzco, his mother, had always told her that she was ugly, the witch was ugly, that it would, she would want a little freshen up. But no, he learned through that experience that Yzma actually was very happy with who she was as a person, and she didn't need a makeover. God.
Yeah.
And neither did he. And so with that knowledge, he steps away from the tent. He leaves the dancers. He goes on 2 feet back to school.
Okay. So Kosoko, you're up. Get ready. And well, these are the last 2 scenes, so we've got to bring it home.
A secret baby.
Wrap it up, Kosoko. Let's hear it.
I'm gonna include this plot point with only 2 chapters left. Okay.
We've got 2 chapters to go.
This is where you introduce the secret baby.
So this is to his computer because he's gonna get this role as Fiero. And because of all the time that has passed, it's actually the time of his real audition. It's not calculus. So he's ready. And so his mother was like, Kuko was like, I know this is how important this is to you. I saw your journey from the window when I saw you in the forest. So I saw you walking on your 4 legs. So I'm going to give you dispensation so that you are no longer in detention, so that you can fulfill your dream and get out of my house and you won't be a vagabond. So he is ready for his audition. He has planned this whole monologue and he's going to sing memories from Cats. But in fact, what he has to do is that he has to fight Kuzco's secret baby to prove worthy of leaving the house to go and do his journey.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's bullshit.
You can't tell Kosoko what to do with his chapter.
No.
That's,
Come on, Ryan. We got a fight scene. We got dreams to realize. It's all on you.
I'm the
This is your
last
salon.
one.
I think.
Right. Sorry. No,
we'll go in.
Right.
Who? Yeah. Wait, Kat, have you gone yet for a second time?
No. Another rousing
we-
monologue.
We got another one.
We have a lot.
Let's do a different one. We've gotten a lot of rousing monologues so far.
Do you want me
And
to
by the way,
bring it home, Ryan?
No, because I'll do the final scene. Unless you manage to end it. If you can end this, I'll be really impressed. You can,
Challenge accepted.
if you can resolve it.
All right. So Kronk has to fight the secret baby. And it's really awful because Kronk has wanted a sibling his whole life. And the moment he realizes that he has a little brother, he has to fight him. And the problem is that like it's not a normal baby, it's like a giant baby, like in Spirited Away.
Mm-hmm.
And like this is an issue. So Kronk starts to fight the baby. But what he doesn't realize is that when he left Yzma, he inspired her. She was like, you know what? I'm going to go with this boy. I'm going to help him realize his dreams. And when she comes out and she sees that he's fighting this giant baby, she's like, you're not going to hurt my new best friend. So she uses one of her Yzma potions to turn Kronk into a giant elephant. So as Kronk is fighting this baby, he doesn't realize he's an elephant. He sits on the baby and he kills him.
Oh my God.
He's devastated, guys. Like, he did not mean to do this. He didn't know he was an elephant at the time. This was all Yzma's doing. He's like crying, his big fat elephant tears. He's like, why would you do this to me? He was my brother. And then Yzma, feeling so bad, says, okay, that's fine. I'll turn you back into human if you want. Or you could be a llama. That's why you originally came to me. And Kronk was like, I don't need your help. He just grabs one of the potions and he drinks it and he turns into a tiny cat. And he's like, is that my voice? And then he realizes, oh my gosh, this voice is the perfect voice for me to be Elphaba. I can hit those high notes so well. So he decides that he's got to take this chance. He can't give up this shot. So he goes back. He does. Kuzco's like, you technically defeated my secret baby, so I will let you audition. So he auditions with his cat voice, and he sings the most beautiful rendition of Memories from Cat as a cat, which he gets extra credit for that.
Effective, yeah.
Immediately gets cast as Elphaba, but it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel completely right to him. And he realizes that part of it is because he doesn't have his brother there with him.
Yeah, right.
So he goes to Yzma and he says, Yzma, listen, remember how I told you that you could beat up the devil? Well, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to go down to hell. And I need you to ask the devil to give me my brother back.
This is good.
You know what? I will do that for you. And she does. And secret baby comes back to life. Everyone goes to see Cat Kronk in Wicked as Elphaba. Best performance that the high school has ever put on.
Wow.
We brought it home.
I have a question.
No, it was all very
Let's hear
clear.
it. Yeah, let's hear it.
Questions. Was the baby... I was going to make a joke that some of y'all won't get. Was the baby baptized? Because I feel like unbaptized babies don't go to hell.
They go to purgatory.
Right. So was he baptized? And if he was, then what did the baby do to warrant going to hell?
I wanted to know.
I mean, that is
Yeah,
it's a whole other story, Kosoko.
And maybe
Oh my
that's
God.
Ryan's story.
Ryan's epilogue.
I think. That Ryan's
Here,
epilogue
all right.
is going to explain that.
Here's the epilogue.
What exactly
All right.
happened in hell?
Yeah.
All right. All right, we've got a genre shift. And that's exactly what happens. Kronk receives his bouquets, having performed a really rousing monologue twice, also defying gravity as a cat, and his secret baby brother is in the audience cheering him on, freshly back from hell. And that's when it hits. That's when it clicks for Kronk. What? Like, he's looking at the like brimstone and hellfire, like still steaming off of secret baby. And he's like, what the fuck did this baby do that I got sent to hell? And what have I brought back to earth? Right? And book 2 is going to be in the style of the Da Vinci Code. It's going to be a lot of paintings. It's going to be, there's a heist in the Louvre, and it's Kronk's descent through the Inferno, through Dante's Inferno, tracing the history of Secret Baby and Secret Baby's intersection over centuries of instigating and mischief with the church.
You could have just made the devil his dad.
No.
Well,
I like this better.
Well, I'm so sorry. It was my turn. Wow, that was pretty incredible. You guys, that was great. Kat, I'm so impressed that you managed to like tie that up nicely. Really, really beautifully done.
Thank you.
I can't believe Mimi, I'm first. I cannot believe it. Well, that brings us to the end of the salon. So utterly disaster. Hey, so we're gonna stick around for some Q&A. So please ask us some questions. We're gonna hang out for a little while. And I'm going to check to see how we're doing donations-wise. But yes, ghoulish spectators, please enter into the chat any questions that you've got for our esteemed guests. You've got them in a particular spot right now between, professional authorship and complete inanity. So this may be a good time to ask them things that you normally wouldn't ask them.
That's a big word.
ALA.
Inanity?
What?
Is that the word?
Inanity.
That's a big word. I've never heard that word.
I know lots of them. Lots of words, lots of big words. Yeah. Oh my God, that was.
You don't always know that
awful.
order they go in, but you know them.
I don't know. Yeah, that's true. I don't use them correctly, but I know the sound of them.
It's there.
Yeah, a deeply Victorian. By the way, can I just tell you guys, there's glitter all over the floor, and it's very slippery. I'm surprised drag queens don't die more often. I can't imagine running around on this.
They're skilled.
They are skilled.
People.
They are skilled. Okay. Oh my God.
We have a question.
Okay, we've got a question from Maya, and Maya asks, let me show it. What's your comfort musical or movie soundtrack? I'm just going to start this off by saying that time and time again, I find myself at the gym listening to Wicked, but only specifically No Good Deed Goes Unpunished. And so if you ever see me lifting at the gym, I might look really scary, but in my head, I'm thinking Fiero! The opening line. That's what I'm hearing as I lift weights. I always go back to that. And Cats. I love Cats. Sorry.
Comfort, we listen to it when we're sad, or comfort, we get nostalgia when we listen to it. That's
you go back to it time and time again.
Yeah, it's it's comforting to go back to. Not necessarily you have to be in a bad place to listen to it. Is how I'm interpreting this. Whenever I interpret comfort stuff, there's so many, honestly, because Hairspray I was listening to this morning, and we listened to for the intro to this foolish event.
Incredible.
Hairspray is amazing, and Moulin Rouge. I listened to that movie soundtrack a lot as well. It's so good.
That one's really good. I love the Anastasia soundtrack. Yes. It just reminds me of my childhood, and the songs are so sweet and they're so catchy and they just make me happy. So I listen to that a lot. And also the Prince of Egypt.
Yes.
Incredible. Mud,
dirt,
sand, dirt. Deliverer. Oh, I love her. I am.
Okay, speaking of really good intros to movies, just that, it's just exactly what's going on.
That's a
You
good
can't knock it. It's
So good.
Look, Passover was the other week, and I every year will watch Prince of Egypt. I haven't watched it this year yet, and I'm glad that it showed back up on my radar because it's an incredible movie.
It's so good. You know, I don't know why YouTube decided to suggest this to me, but they suggested this like behind the scenes documentary of how it was made, like in 3 parts. And I was
That's
like,
amazing.
yes. And it was so good. I was had so much fun.
That's a good one. Let's does anyone else have a musical they want to mention, or are we ready for another question? We have a bunch.
I have a shit ton. I probably
you
the
love
musical
musicals.
that I've listened to the most though is Hamilton. Like if I'm being completely honest, that's probably the one that I've listened to the most. I also love Wicked because I've seen that one.
Yeah.
And I
So
love
good.
Gregory Maguire. And movie,
Mhm.
probably Twilight, really good soundtrack, and Dirty Dancing.
Dirty Dancing, yes. Such a good soundtrack. Such
Really
a good.
All right. We've got another question here. Did any of you write fan fiction before you started your journey to becoming professional authors?
I wrote a significant amount of fan fiction.
Significant.
On .net. You will never. It's still up. I check it every now and then. You'll never get the account ever. 'Cause I'm never going to tell you the information. But I will tell you what I wrote was Naruto. Wrote a lot of that. I wrote an anime called Get Backers. Not sure if anybody knows that. Fishi Yugi. And
Yes. Yes.
Fishi was my shit. Oh my god. Oh,
Yes. Yes.
exceptional anime. And a lot of self-insertion anime that like I was a character who got like thrown into a world, and of course like the big bad like Kiba from Naruto like took me into his house, and my character like fell in love with him and helped him unlock his next like ninjutsu. It was bad. It was horrible.
Oh man, I did a lot of Gaia Online. That was like the place where I wrote a lot of, but it wasn't fan fiction. It was like role play, like RPGs
Yeah.
in like written form. Yeah.
I was going to say I did the same thing, and I was like, I didn't do fan fiction much. I had one fan fiction, Legend of Zelda, but I've never met another person who did the Guy Online thing.
Oh my God, were we
so
in the
weird.
Writers Guild together?
Oh God, I hope not.
Tested out Reverie. Reverie was an RPG at one point in Gaia Online of the Writers Guild. It wasn't called that or anything like that too, but it was like in high school around the time when I started that book, and I was like, this could be a thing. But yeah, no, I don't have any like real hardcore fan fiction. Kat, Claribel, what about either of you?
I didn't post anything, but I would write like stories that were, for all intents and purposes, fan fiction. The one that was like the most ongoing was that my friends and I were the Sailor Scouts in middle school.
Yes.
So we would do that thing where we had a notebook that we shared, and we would do everyone writes a page of the story. So like I would write a page of the story from my point of view. I was Sailor Jupiter. And then I would pass it on to Sailor Moon, and then she would write the next part of the story from her point of view, and then she passed it on to Mercury, and so on and so forth. And so we had like a notebook of like our adventures as the Sailor Scouts.
That's beautiful. I love that. That's so cool.
Yeah. We were such nerds. And we were like very open about it. We weren't trying to hide it. Like there was like pasted on photos of Sailor Moon and everyone on the cover of it, and it was huge. It got big, really big, and because it was a 3-ring binder, and people would be like, "Those are the girls who are obsessed with Sailor Moon." And
you probably were so uncool, but that's cool to me. I love that. Oh man. Claribel, what about you? Anything?
Not really.
Okay. That's fair. That's good.
Claribel's like,
Claribel doesn't write anything unless she's getting paid for it.
Actually, wait, I want to answer this question. All right, this is our last question, and then I'm going to let everyone go. Any guilty pleasure tropes?
Guilty pleasure. You mean like things that people think are not good? And then you
I think so. Yeah. I think I can start. I feel like my books always have like a love at first sight trope, or like that kind of element, that feel to it. what's the bad thing that they call it?
Insta love.
Insta love.
Insta love, yeah. Insta love, which like I try to flesh from my brain, obviously. But I like playing that with that as like a queer author. I love reading about it because I was raised on rom-coms from the 90s where you had like 4 to 5 minutes to fall in love with someone, and like that was just accepted. And I never really got those stories, and I love putting them into my books because actually in both of my books, in The Gravity of Us, it goes well. It's a really fast relationship. I wouldn't call it insta love, but it is like a very whirlwind romance thing, and I love playing with that because they weren't hindered by their sexuality at all. And then As Far As You'll Take Me is very much insta love, but it doesn't go well. And like that's traditionally how my insta love went. So like that is really what I wanted to talk about, like as like a queer person, and like while I was writing these books, and like I love just all kinds of love stories. And actually, Kosoko, yours is very similar in that it's like fast love. Like we don't have time to chat. Like,
We've
but like
got
I
workouts.
love
We gotta go.
No, it's like no. If you get them in love on page 4, then you have the whole book of them in love together. Like, what? Come on, what's not to like? But no, so that's what I love reading, those stories as well.
Are they tropes we like writing or just like enjoying, like consuming?
Whatever's going to make you
Either,
interesting answer.
Right?
Either, yeah.
So does anybody watch The Magicians? It's my best example.
Present.
Yeah, but I only watched through like season 2.
That's fine. You'll be able to understand this. So like the incredibly bitchy, incredibly intelligent, arrogant female character who is like the Alice in Magicians, I would like if she told me to like kill everybody, I'd be like, I guess that's what I'm doing. It's just that trope of character who has specifically a high, tight ponytail or a very straight bob cut with like a skirt and a blouse tucked into it with glasses, who's incredibly big. I love it. I would die.
Yeah. A severe bob. Some severe thing. Yeah. I'm with you on that. I will say for myself, the trope that I I feel guilt when I use, but I will never stop using it, is the final moments anime girl, magical girl power up. Like in every anime, there's that moment when like there's a huge montage where like the character like basically like relives all the reasons they're doing what they're doing, and it gives them like, I don't know, the energy to like unlock, like in Naruto, it's like there's chakras. In Sailor Moon, it's like a new crystal. Like it doesn't matter, but I like this happens in Reverie as well. And like, I can't say, but might be happening in my current book as well. But I like notice that I use this all the time. There's like that moment of like whole chapter dedicated to just like talking about the emotions of it. And then by the end of it, they're like, I'm powerful now. I love that. I use it all the time.
I like Phil's example because also that it's a very valid way that some people are. Like someone could look at me like on a bus that just passed by and I'll be like, oh, I'm in love with you. So valid. But I really love triangles. I know people complain about them all the time, but I think if they're done really well, it can create so much tension. Not when it's like there's obviously one person who is not good. I've always loved them, and I think that's why I'm obsessed with K-dramas now, as Kat knows. I like watch so many of them because there's so many love triangles, and I always want the main character to end up with the second lead. Mm-hmm. It's like it's always like one guy's a prep and then the other one is like motorcycle, and I'm like,
one's a prep.
I'm in love. And Kat like automatically knows. She's like, you like this one, right? And I'm like, yeah.
Like the second lead bad boy who she shouldn't be with. I mean, there's some where the bad boy is the lead, but like it's never the kind of bad boy that I know you'll like. Okay. So I'm gonna go in on that because every trope that I like it because K-dramas do it better, honestly. And so like my not so good. They just do it better. My not-so-secret goal is to transcribe all K-drama tropes into young adult through my books specifically. So, like, I do that thing where it's like, there's only one umbrella, and it's raining, and you have to, like, walk under this umbrella. And, like, he's like, oh, my gosh, he's so far away from me, you're going to get wet. And he, like, pulls her closer. Like, that kind of stuff where, like,
Or
There's
rode on the
some-
bus. They're always on the bus.
always on the bus, and she always falls asleep, and then he's always like looking at her lovingly, and then he just like nudges her head down on his shoulder because he loves her, but he can't tell her. Or
Oh my god.
or like she's standing just a little bit too far out from the sidewalk, and a scooter's coming, and he sees it, and he pulls her out of the way. Like that's in Wicked Fox, the pulling out of the way of the scooter. Sharing the umbrella is in Wicked Fox. There's also the one where like she's about to fall and he catches her and like he's holding her tight and he like turns into a hug, but he's pretending it's not. He's like, because he doesn't want to like admit his feelings. But the things specifically with Claribel's love triangle thing is what K-dramas does is it's not necessarily always about the choice. It's more about like the development of these two different relationships. And the second lead, you often know they're the second lead the whole time. Mm-hmm. But the point of that relationship is that they're making each other grow as people. And like by the end, the second lead has to give up on her or him, I guess. But it's usually two guys and a girl. Mm-hmm. Usually the second lead has to give up on her, but that's like a symbol of his growth.
It's always so sad, and I always cry every time.
The best is when the second lead's a bad boy, and and by the end she knows he likes her, and he says to her like, "Oh, don't worry, we're breaking up. I know it's gonna make you so sad, but it'll be okay." And he's doing it so that she doesn't feel bad choosing the other guy, and he's being so like a tough guy about it. So good.
I have chills. That's so sad.
It's so
beautiful.
sad. It's so good. Everyone watch K-dramas. They're so good. If you want a personalized list from me, I make them too specifically for the person. I'm like, this is the one you'll like.
Yeah, I have a whole spreadsheet.
Mm-hmm. I make
that's incredible. Mm-hmm. Yeah, K-dramas do an incredible job of like not just including tropes, but like making them make sense in like the universe of that K-drama. And yeah, no, I agree with you. I haven't seen a ton of them. Kat, I could do with one of those lists. I'm just saying I would like to throw Claribel does actually send me things to watch. I've been meaning to, but that's a good one. That's like a great way to thank you. Wow, I feel like I think we've gone from fools to Satan and back again. I think we've been all over the spectrum tonight, and I really can't thank you all enough for joining on this wild ride and being part of the April Salon. Thank you all for coming. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. So for everyone in the audience, the links will remain valid. So if you want to still donate, feel free to. I will be posting as soon as I get the final numbers in and make the actual donations to the Asian American Legal Defense and Education Fund. So thank you everyone for throwing down cash. That is fantastic. And thank you to my lovely guests for venturing out, braving the cold and the storms to be part of this moment of inspiration and chaos. I really do. I love seeing all of you in my presence. It means the world.
Yay. Thanks, Ryan. And thanks everybody for watching who's in the chat.
Yes. Wonderful. Kelly, I see you asked about donations. I'm tallying them up via two separate systems, so I don't know what the final count is, but it looks like we are close to the goal, but we haven't hit it just yet. So we will, though. I think we will, because I also have to throw down some money myself. So I think we're probably at about $450, which is fantastic for our maiden voyage into donation land. Thank you, everybody, for
Yay!
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks for coming. Bye, Z's.